Happy Monday, everyone. Chargers Now is presented by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to receive $50 in lineups. On today's show, we're going to be talking about free agent wide receiver Keenan Allen, because I think there are a lot of Chargers fans that are still holding out hope that Allen is going to end up returning to Los Angeles. And I don't blame a lot of these fans. In fact, myself included, I would like Allen to return to the Chargers. I think he adds an element to this game. He's a veteran wide receiver that certainly can add to this offense. But the question has to be asked, are the Chargers cooked? Because this time last year, or at least during his free agency last year, Keenan Allen made it very clear he wanted to go to the West Coast. He was tired of playing in the cold, and he wanted to be back in the West Coast warmth. It also became pretty clear that he wanted to return to the Chargers, having spent much of his career there. But at this point, the latest intel makes it pretty clear that Keenan Allen is not limiting himself to just the West Coast. He is not just limiting himself to Los Angeles. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, he ended up going on a couple different radio shows, had a couple different reports, where he talked about the fact that Keenan Allen is open to joining pretty much any team at this point. And I find that very interesting because it seems logical that he'd want to return to Los Angeles. The Chargers seem to want Keenan Allen back in Los Angeles, but Keenan Allen is not going to limit his potential. We're going to discuss what all that means on the show, but hit that subscribe button, because if Keenan Allen does end up signing with the Los Angeles Chargers, you're going to want to know about it. Guess what? We're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. The minute that there's breaking news on the Chargers, we get content out to you. When David Njoku signed at 3 in the morning, guess who was up at 3 in the morning randomly? This guy. And we got that video out to you ASAP. So hit that subscribe button. Don't miss any Chargers news or rumors. So when we look at Keenan Allen, it makes a lot of sense why the Los Angeles Chargers would want to kick the tires on this guy. He very clearly is still someone who has a lot of production still left in him. He is someone who is not a washed-up has-been. He is a good locker room fit, largely. He's a good culture guy. He knows what's going to be asked of him in Los Angeles. He is slightly on the downward turn, but that doesn't mean that he's still not useful. So on today's show, we're going to discuss, should the Chargers sign Allen? And I'll give you an answer to that question. We're going to discuss if the Chargers have the money to sign Keenan Allen, and I'll let you know where the Chargers sit and where Keenan Allen's expected contract is going to be. And then would he be willing to return to Los Angeles? Because I think when you look at Keenan Allen and where he could end up being, Los Angeles with the Chargers is still pretty high up on his board. And I hope the Chargers look at Keenan Allen as pretty high up on their board after doing our video on the Stefon Diggs quotes, because I don't know that you want to add that guy to Los Angeles. Do you want the Chargers to sign Keenan Allen? Go down below in our comment section. Let me know, is this a yes or is this a no for you? For me, it's a pretty clear yes. When you look at the last 4 seasons for Allen, it's pretty evident that there is a downward turn that's coming. It's also pretty evident that he has had some injury issues in the past, and that is something that the Chargers have had to fight with from time to time with different wide receivers in their organization, and frankly are starting to fight it a little bit right now with wide receivers that are in the organization. But when you look at all those seasons from Keenan Allen, whether it was in Los Angeles or in Chicago with the Bears, Keenan Allen is someone who is still very productive in the National Football League. He is someone that has not reached that point of no return where he is no longer going to be able to make big-time plays. And while the Chargers wide receiver depth chart is not full of a bunch of rookies, there's still a lot of younger guys in that position room. And I think that last year, Keenan Allen made a very important impact on some of their leadership skills and their ability to learn how to be an NFL player. Now, you could also make the argument that he kind of vultured some of the stats of Lad McConkey, but to sit here and say that Allen would not fit into this offense would be incorrect. We have more to discuss on today's show, but first, I need to let you know that today's show is made possible by SeatGeek. When it's time to get out of the house, there's not many better options right now than a ball game. And with SeatGeek being MLB's official ticket marketplace, your tickets are fully guaranteed and instantly fulfilled in your account after purchase. Now, I got some family down in LA. I thought it would be fun, so I called up my cousin, and we talked about going on to SeatGeek and looking at some Chargers tickets. We looked at that opening day game against the Cardinals. Now, you know me. I'm looking for the best deals possible, so I'm looking for those green dots, and I'm trying to be as close to the end zone as I can, trying to see as many touchdowns as possible. Whether it's a Chargers game with a special lady friend or a Co-Wetzel concert with the boys, SeatGeek has your back. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So look for the green dots. Green means good. Red means bad. And of course, I have a code for you guys. You can use code CHAT10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with the promo code CHAT10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you so very much, SeatGeek. When we look at the depth chart right now for this Los Angeles Chargers team, I do think that there is a spot here where you can use Keenan Allen for a couple of different reasons. First of all, right now, Quentin Johnston is your best production and veteran on this team. Or if you want to say, hey, he's not your best production, he's still your second best production and veteran on this team. Well, he just got added to his fifth-year extension. He's only been in the league for 3 years. Trey Harris, Ladd McConkey, obviously very young going into year 3 and year 2. Brennan Thompson, he just got drafted. So you have a ton of really young talent with this crew, and I think that there is a spot where you could certainly have Keenan Allen come on in and be a fit to this team. You could see him potentially add in some of the short yardage stuff in the quick passing game. He's elite after he catches a football, making guys miss. At least he certainly was in his prime. And so it's very clear to me when you look at Keenan Allen and that depth chart, there is a spot for him if you want to make the choice to have Allen with your team. Now, I do want to ask, should the Chargers sign Allen? Because there are a lot of free agent options, and we have already looked at Stefon Diggs on the channel, so I want to directly compare these two right now. When you look at Keenan Allen, the receptions to Stefon Diggs are essentially the same, but the average and the yards total go more in Diggs' favor. Now, I'd make the argument Diggs was a 1, where Keenan Allen, best case scenario, was like a 1B, kind of a trio of 1A, 1B, and 1C between Allen, Johnston, and, of course, Ladd McConkey. I think the other thing to remember, too, with the difference here between Diggs and Allen is that it was much more of a run-first offense in Los Angeles, or at least that's what it wanted to be with Greg Roman. And Stefon Diggs, well, yes, there was a lot of running to help rookie quarterback Drake May. He was also a very clear position for the Patriots to make sure that they feed their number one wide receiver. Now, Stefon Diggs is not the only option that the Chargers could end up using and only person that the Chargers could end up calling. There are a lot of really talented free agent wide receivers that are out there. I went in and just grabbed a list of 5 guys that could potentially fit in that mold as well, from Tyreek Hill, Deebo Samuel, Tyler Lockett, DeAndre Hopkins. A lot of guys who have had a lot of success with their different respective teams and units with whatever team they end up playing for. Tyreek Hill, certainly someone that would be interesting to see if McDaniel wants to go and kick the tires on him after all the success that they had together in Miami. But one thing has become clear to me is I think the Chargers value Keenan Allen over these players because they have seen him in the building before. They have seen how he operates as a professional. They have seen that you're not going to deal with weird quotes in the national media or the local media. The Chargers certainly would be willing and certainly want to bring in Keenan Allen if they possibly can. I mean, just listen to these quotes from Jorge Ortiz on Allen from a couple of months ago. I think it really illustrates just how much they want him. Right now, we're in a spot where we're looking at the roster and we're letting these young guys get a chance. I've had some communication with Keenan's representation, and we talk. Right now, the guys that we have here, we're letting them grow and develop. This, of course, was during OTAs and minicamp, so that ends up making a lot of sense. Nothing but love for Keenan, and that door is certainly not closed. So to me, there's a clear interest there from the Chargers, and I think that Allen would say that there's an interest from him as well, because if there's no interest, well, he might not be playing football anymore. So then we look at, can the Chargers end up signing Keenan Allen? Right now, the expected contract for Keenan Allen would be similar to last year's number, which was essentially a 1-year, just over $3 million deal, where there were a lot of expectations and a lot of things placed on Keenan Allen hitting certain incentives. The more that he was able to do, receptions, yards, touchdowns, games on the field, the higher that you saw that number. And Keenan Allen certainly put himself in a good spot to achieve a good amount of those incentives. Now, the Chargers would end up actually having plenty of cap space. Right now, they have the most cap space in the National Football League. So there's no question that if the Chargers want to make a deal, I mean, shoot, they could certainly go and make a deal for Allen. And it certainly feels like with all the cap space that Joe Ortiz has available to him, there is a chance that the Chargers might be willing to go and make a really big splash or two, whether it's free agent signings or even potentially a trade. Smart, it's proactive, make sure that you have a bunch of room available. Signing Keenan Allen would not drastically change any of those plans, so there is certainly an opportunity for the Chargers to say, hey, you know what? We think that we should go in and make sure that we re-sign Keenan Allen because he's going to end up adding to this team in a way that others don't realize. In my opinion, I believe that the Chargers should re-sign Keenan Allen. They could go down right now in free agency, give him a call, say, hey, show up in a week or two of training camp. Don't show up in that first week. You can show up right around that second preseason game and sign him. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that sentiment down below in our comment section. While you're doing that, I need to let you know that today's show is made possible as well by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 sports picks app and is the best place to win cash while watching sports. With the baseball season in full swing, there's no better time to cash in with our friends at Prize Picks. And I'll tell you this, the app is really easy to use. To qualify for a Prize Picks lineup, pick 2 to 6 players and select more or less on stat projections, including hits, home runs, strikeouts, and several others across all sports. One thing I love is the new social feeds feature, where you can share Prize Picks with your friends and copy lineups with a single click. You can actually follow me on the app, at BigWill7774, to see all of my lineups. I have a lineup for the football action going on later on this year. Justin Herbert, more on his pass yards. Quentin Johnston, more on his receiving TDs. Rashid Shaheed, more on his receiving yards. New user offer. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to receive $50 in lineups. That's code HMA when you play your first $5 lineup to get an extra $50 in lineups with Prize Picks. Clickable link to download the app is in the comments and description. So I told you that I think that the Chargers should end up signing and re-signing essentially Keenan Allen. And here are my reasons why he should end up returning. First of all, I don't know how many options there are for Keenan Allen. I mean, there's an opportunity for him to say, hey, I'm going to wait until halfway through training camp. There's going to be some injuries, and then I'll pop in where I want to be. That makes a lot of sense to me. We know that Justin Herbert, in my opinion, is a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League. And there's a really good opportunity here for Keenan Allen to look at Herbert and say, hey, you know what? I can go and play with this guy again. And if I go and play with this guy again, you're going to see a lot of really good things end up happening for me. Whether that is Allen putting himself in a position to elongate his career by a year or two, whether that is him putting himself into a position where he's getting more Pro Bowl and All-Pro nods, maybe putting himself in a spot where we're talking about him as being an easy for sure Hall of Famer instead of someone who is just a potential Hall of Famer. The more I look at Justin Herbert, the more enticing I realize that he is for other wide receivers to play with. Another person that is enticing, pause, don't laugh at me like that, producer Ryan, Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel, the new offensive coordinator for the Los Angeles Chargers, is a brilliant mind, and he knows how to get his players open with the football and get them the ball in space so that they can best utilize their elite talent. Keenan Allen can look at this and say, that's an excellent opportunity to go play with a star. Lastly, this Chargers team, they have a real legit title shot. Keenan Allen wants to win a Super Bowl. Everyone dreams about going out on top. How many of you, I certainly have had dreams of, you end up winning a Super Bowl, or you get the promotion at work, or you get the big raise in a new job offer, whatever you're looking at, everyone wants to go out on top. No one wants to have that one thing that they're always, I wish I would have gotten that. I wish I would have won that state title. I wish I would have won that league title, whatever sport it was, right? Keenan Allen has an opportunity to go out on top, win a Super Bowl, hit that retirement, call it a career, and then have a lot of people talking about whether or not he deserves to be in Canton. I think the argument is a little bit better than most people realize. Hit that subscribe button because if Keenan Allen does sign with the Los Angeles Chargers, you do not want to miss out on that video. Thank you guys so much for coming in, hanging out with us. We always have a really good time here with you. As always, bolt up.